Hello everybody, it's number 48 here and welcome back to another Star Wars Sunday. Today we are back in the canon timeline and we're back on the Clone Wars. We caught up with our Legends stuff that I had missed out on. We're back in 19 BBY with the canon timeline in Clone Wars Season 5, Episode 1, Revival. Maul asserts his dominance and becomes the master of Savage Opress. Maul starts building a pirate army with Hondo's men. Obi-Wan and another Jedi have arrived to help Hondo with the Sith. I believe it's Adi Gallia. Savage kills the other Jedi while Obi-Wan duels Maul. Obi-Wan duels the brothers, cutting off one of Maul's legs. They also shoot down their ship, forcing them to use an escape pod, which I assumed was back to the planet, but in a future episode, I learned that's not the case. Adi Gallia was the Jedi to die. Oh, he cut off one of Savage's arms, and the brothers escaped. I missed a whole line in my notes. Hondo's men damaged one of Maul's legs. We skip forward in Season 5 to Episode 14. We'd already watched a bunch of the middle of Season 5 previously in the timeline. The brothers floated through space, not back to the planet, and are picked up by Mandalorians. I love how this is like immediately after the events of Episode 1, and it's Episode 14. Like, they did 13 other episodes on different topics, or 12 different episodes, I guess, on different topics when they had the story that they were going to do. I always find that interesting with Clone Wars, so they just kind of zigzag sometimes. They repair Maul's legs. Death Watch and the brothers are going to work together to take Mandalore and kill Obi-Wan. Savage gets a new arm. Maul and Death Watch recruit the Black Sun to their cause. Maul's underworld ties, we see in full, really, in the Solo movie, are getting its start here, which is very cool. I'm glad there's some background to that. I didn't realize that he was going to be so involved in the underworld in the Solo movie, but to see where that starts is interesting. And by recruit, I mean kill the leaders and demand support from those that are alive, which is a successful tactic, I guess. The Pikes also join the cause. They did this willingly. Bounty hunters fight the combined force on Nal Hutta. They kill one of the ruling Hutts. They move on to Tatooine and take over Jabba's palace, where the Hutts agree to join them. The brothers and Death Watch intend on betraying each other after Mandalore is taken over. Episode 15, Shades of Reason. The Pikes and Black Sun invade Mandalore, so the Death Watch can fake save the planet and arrest the people, or arrest the Black Sun. The people back Death Watch. They arrest Satine. They arrest Maul and Savage and the other crime lords for real. Maul and Savage break out with the former Prime Minister. Maul duels and kills Vizsla for rule of Death Watch. Bo-Katan escapes, not agreeing with an outsider being the leader of Death Watch and also the leader of Mandalore. The Prime Minister is reinstated as a puppet ruler of Mandalore, saying the Duchess Satine had Vizsla murdered. Maul is really behind the government at this point, but there's a puppet leader. Episode 16, The Lawless. Obi-Wan tried to rescue Satine, but is arrested after being shot down. Maul killed Satine with the Darksaber in front of Obi-Wan, then put him in prison. Bo-Katan broke him out. Sidious goes to Mandalore, duels Savage and Maul, killing Savage. Two very important characters being killed in one episode, Savage Opress and Satine. Very unexpected, both of them dying. I knew Satine died at some point, and this seemed like the arc was going to happen in. Savage, I didn't realize. It makes sense. I mean, you don't see him ever after the Clone Wars, so it makes sense, but I wasn't expecting it here. Until Sidious showed up, because that was someone was going to die when Sidious shows up. And he defeated Maul, not killing him, but the episode ends with Sidious force lightning Maul on the ground, saying rather ominously that he has plans for Maul in this grand plan. Up next is a short story, Kenobi's Shadow, which is a written adaptation of Episode 16, The Lawless, by Greg Van Eekhout. Episode 17, Sabotage. Ahsoka saves Anakin on Cato Nemoidia. They are recalled into the temple because it was bombed. Anakin and Ahsoka will lead the investigation because they were not on Coruscant at the time of the attack. Anakin and Ahsoka find the person responsible, with a touch of anger showing from Anakin. Not as bad as we've seen in the past, though. So a little tamer than his normal outbursts. Episode 18, The Jedi Who Knew Too Much. Barriss is being very sus post-bombing. Ahsoka was in the room interviewing the bomber when she got force-choked and died. The clones refused to let Anakin see Ahsoka under Tarkin's orders. Ahsoka broke out and found wounded clones next to her lightsabers. Anakin tries to get Ahsoka to come and talk with the Jedi Council, but she escapes again. Episode 19, To Catch a Jedi. Anakin and Plo Koon lead the search for Ahsoka in Coruscant's lower levels. Ahsoka contacts Barriss. Asajj Ventress captures Ahsoka as there's a bounty placed on her head by the Senate. They start working together. Anakin sees Ahsoka with Ventress. She contacts Barriss again, who knows a lot about the munitions used in the bombing. The pair fought some clones, killing none of them and escaping. Asajj is knocked out by, I'm guessing, Barriss, who takes her lightsabers and masks. Duels Ahsoka into a warehouse with explosive nanodroids, which is what was used to blow up the temple, where she is captured alone by the clones, Ahsoka and Plo Koon, or Anakin and Plo Koon. Episode 20, The Wrong Jedi. The Jedi Council, although not unanimous, have expelled Ahsoka from the Jedi Order as a request from the Senate. Padme will represent Ahsoka in her military trial before the Senate. Anakin confronts Ventress. She turns Anakin towards Barriss. Tarkin is the lead prosecutor against Ahsoka. Anakin confronts Barriss. She has Ventress's lightsabers. Anakin defeats Barriss and brings her into the trial. Ahsoka is freed. Anakin and the Jedi Council invite Ahsoka back into the Jedi Order. She leaves the temple. Anakin chases her down, but is unable to convince her to stay. And frankly, I can't blame her. You got kicked out, no one believed you. And now they want you back. It makes sense to not want to come back. I really enjoyed these episodes of the Clone Wars. Very excited to see where Season 6 takes us. Getting very, very close to Episode 3. Up next, however, is Thrawn Ascendancy, which is a book I've been looking forward to in general of the Thrawn series, as they are highly acclaimed books within the Star Wars world. So I'll finally get to probably the most well-known Star Wars books now, which is very cool. So that's up next, and then we'll be back into the Clone Wars after that. Let me know your thoughts on Season 5 of the Clone Wars in the comments down below. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.